doesn't do a countdown. Anyway, I wish it did a
No.
countdown. I think Restream did a countdown, but this one just does a circle back and forth, and I'm like, okay, it could do it for two like circles. It could do it for 17. I don't know. Anyway, good evening, good afternoon, good night, everybody. We are the Melanated Council. Yeah, raise the roof. It's going up on a Tuesday, as the old prayer went, as the old psalm said. And we stream every other Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time. I know it is not either of those. It's because we're having some technical difficulties. We apologize. It has been an evening. Yes, we are live. Thanks to you, Rocky. We couldn't have done it without you. Oh, Rana, we can't hear you. I don't know if you said anything. Yeah, like, ooh, that was an echo.
No, we don't like echoes.
Okay, you're like sounding really soft.
Okay. Mic check. Yep. Hold on.
Okay,
Wait,
you
hold
sound.
on. I think we're good.
I think
I'm
so.
not
Let me.
touching.
I don't know if there's an echo. I don't hear an echo.
Okay.
Okay, and we can hear you. Perfect.
Okay. Okay. Y'all, this is what I've been dealing with. Not to interrupt L, but yeah, I'm flipping through different mic channels. I don't know if I'm talking through the computer, the camera. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out as the stream goes on.
Yeah.
But I'm here.
Yes, and there's no echo. But let us know if you hear an echo, guys, because I don't,
Please.
and Ron doesn't. So far we're good. We're good. But yeah. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another fantastic episode tonight. It's another fantastic Tuesday.
Mhm.
If you are new, we are the Melanated Council. We stream every other Tuesday night and around 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And each month we have a topic, and we like to discuss, deeper into the topic. So this month was about money, particularly finances, like the habits that like how we spend and how how to invest in ourselves and what to invest in and things like that. No echo.
Good.
And for anyone who has an Amazon Echo, I apologize if we just activated it, but
Mhm.
you should apologize to yourself for getting an Amazon Echo. Why did you do that? So
Yes. Love Tuesday nights.
yeah. I've seen like the positives of an Echo because like my boyfriend's his place has it. A His friends have an Echo as well. So like I see the benefits because it's totally different than um what's it called? It's totally different than like a Siri or a Google Home. So
Like
um
Siri or
uh, one second. So that's so you can that's just like a totally different name that you can call out to everybody. Well, to your smart device, so it's just totally different. So I can understand why, but at the same time, it's just not as good as Google. Like, I'm sorry, it's not. It's not as good as the
Mhm.
Big G assistant. It's not. You want to know? You want to know a really cool thing that Big G. The reason why I'm calling that, so I don't and like activate y'all's Android devices. Another reason, yeah. But one cool thing that Big G did, like I don't know, last week or earlier this, I don't know. I don't know my days anymore. It's been a week and it's only Tuesday. But but I got a call from a local state, a local like a person who's running to be state senator.
Mm,
I'm not in his district, but he's calling, people up, in case like I know people in his district, and I do know people in his district, and I should let them know about him. So, what Big G, especially if you have a Pixel, can do is that it can screen calls for you. So
mm.
while y'all's phones probably have like the pick up, the green button, the hang up or cancel the call, the red button, mine has like a middle button, which is like a blue button, which the assistant will answer the call, transcribe it, be like, hey, the person you're trying to reach is like, hey, like this is the assistant for the person you're trying to reach. Like, what is it that you need? And it sounds like a human voice. And so, so like the senator or like the guy who's running for Senate responded. I didn't hear any of this. I was like reading it on my phone because it was transcribing what he was saying. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I answered and, like I spoke to him and he was like, I've made thousands of phone calls and this was the first time I've come across something like that. That was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Because it's transcribed everything that he was saying. It was like, yeah, this person, I can't remember his name. His last name is Jacobs. I know that. And he's like, I'm running for a state senate in Florida, District 35 or something like that, House District 35. And, just wanted to ask me, like her, what things she cares about. And I was like, okay, I'll pick up. So I answered, and he was like, that's really cool. I was like, yeah. So
Nice.
1 point for Google because iPhone can't do that. Well, actually, Google Pixel because not even other Androids can do that. I don't think. And yeah,
Mm-hmm. But you know what though? I think it would be cool for it to actually be able to be implemented on a lot of the other um, Android phones. But then again, like you were saying too, because it is a Google phone, it may be just strictly something for Google phones, period, and not any other carriers or devices.
Yeah, I think so.
Hmm. Okay, Google, we see you.
Yeah, no, I like it. Like
Yes,
every
to okay Google.
yes, like every time I think about going to an iPhone, I always think like, but geez, like I use my assistant so much without even like really realizing it. Like I have the little speaker like in my bedroom and that's my alarm. I just tell it to set the alarm. I actually set it now so that 10 minutes after my alarm it like reads out certain things. Like it's already like a preset um thing, but
Hmm.
I set it up so it just starts 10 minutes after the alarm because I didn't want it to just start. I didn't want the alarm to go off. I turn off the alarm and it just starts rattling off a whole bunch of stuff immediately. I was like, I need some peace. So 10 minutes later it says like, oh, it tells me like what event, like if I have anything on my calendar, if I have anything on my tasks. It
Hmm.
tells me the weather. It tells me a joke, which is nice. And it's like a nice little way to like start the day. Can I remember any of the jokes? No, but it's like I sometimes cringe. I'm like, oh, okay, here comes the joke, but at the same time, I really like it because it makes it a little fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. No, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with
Mm-mm.
that at all.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Especially if you had like a really crappy day before and you just want something to kind of like break up a lot of that weirdness and go on a happier note. Yeah, why not? Tell a joke, make you
Yeah.
laugh. Like, oh, I forgot I was thinking about the other day. All right, let's go to work. I'm ready.
Right. Yeah. That's definitely like a fun way to just like break up your thoughts because
Mm,
every morning, like I'm thinking like 500 different thoughts of like what I want to do and what I need to do and what I should be doing. And it's like, oh gosh, I can't.
right.
Yeah. Mm. I find most of that tech annoying though. When I visited my parents, it was nice being able to set kitchen timers with just my voice. Oh, yeah. That's really nice. I use that all the time. I use that all the time. Hmm.
I mean, that's good. That's good. I think like a while back ago, I think we had like a Google Nest, which was it was good. It was good. It was small. We pretty much had it like in the living room, and it was functional for the most part. Why we got rid of it, I don't know. But yeah, no, it was good. It was good to have be able to set the alarm, and I think that the missus was talking about when we get our house that she wants the Google Nest, and then she also wants the Google Home, where it pretty much controls the thermostats, electricity, all
Hmm.
that other good stuff. So at least that way, if we're gone, she can set it, and by the time we get back in the house, it'll be at a very nice temperature and all that other good stuff. So I'm like, okay, I can see the benefits. I can see the benefits. Even
Hmm.
though for me personally, I was one that was kind of against it for like the longest time. But as I got older and a little bit more wiser and seeing how it was actually beneficial, I'm like, you know, I could get used to this.
Hmm.
Seems a little weird, a little creepy, but if this is the way how most homes are going to be, why not adopt it early and just run with it? And hopefully, we won't have a situation like off a Smart House off a Disney Channel. Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh. Like how did I forget about that? Like,
Man,
I
they were
re-
way in the future.
yeah, the house was like trying to attack them.
Yes.
Yeah. But that's so funny because like we now we're trying to make a smart home, but I don't know. Like, yeah, that would be like no. But your wife is right though, because with the AC thermostat, like apparently you can save a lot of money with it,
Hmm. Hmm.
because of how it'll like start to adjust.
Hmm.
So when everybody's out, it'll probably just go to like a warmer temperature or something, or colder. I don't know what it is. For yeah, for like for Florida, it's just automatic. Like, oh, try to set it for warmer. Like I would love to get like a Nest. I've been looking at them for a while now,
Hmm.
and yeah, just the whole setting it up and everything, and
Yeah.
yeah, because it would definitely be like beneficial since it's just me in the
Oh yeah.
house.
Oh yeah. Agreed. Agreed. And even then, I think we went as far as looking at like a lot of the Google security cameras. that you
Mhm.
can twist in on the front porch or whatever you have a lighting that's like outside to kind of just monitor everything around the house while you're
Mhm.
gone, which is pretty cool. I'm like, yeah, that would make sense. So if I know that somebody's trying to come in when they're not supposed to be in, you know, they're going to get a very nice, friendly welcome with dog slobber and barks. But that's just on the less violent spectrum. But we won't go. We won't go on that.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, cool, cool. But Toby, how have you been?
Yes,
What have you been
seems like it's been.
investing in? Yeah.
Oh, oh yeah, I guess that's how the conversation came to this point. Investing in smart tech. For me, I've been investing in well, for a while it was mostly to look for a new job. Um, because I had recently actually been laid off. It was something I hadn't mentioned much, and I had a lot going on honestly since it happened.
Mhm.
But since early November, I had been on the job hunt, literally November 1st, and so most like there were some things that I did. I mean, most of it was free. There were some like I was able to actually I got a library card. That was actually pretty
Nice.
cool. Um, because I hadn't had one since I was a kid. And, of course, it's, you're just checking out books. I could use the internet at some points if I really needed to, but, we had a computer at home. So now it's interesting having a library card. I did it because I was looking up sort of some benefits on how I can get access to some courses. Turns out you can get access to Udemy, if not all classes on Udemy, at least it seems most. Things you would pay for, you can just literally log in through your like library cards portal. At least in my county, well, mostly the whole state, because I made an account with my local library here, and then I made an account with the library at my parents' house because I did this around Thanksgiving. So I actually was able to go to that library, physically get like a card because I didn't have a physical library card. I still don't have a physical card for the one at my house. So crazy how times change, right? Most people deal with digital library cards
Mm.
these days. And it also gave me free access to LinkedIn Learning. I've not really
Nice.
taken advantage of Udemy or LinkedIn Learning, to be honest. Um, well, I've used LinkedIn Learning for like in trial periods in the past, but I haven't taken advantage of it now that I like have basically free access. I did spend on Black Friday for Code Academy. They would have had like multiple hundreds of dollars for their courses, and I was able to get like discounts. I might have used a student discount using the old university email, which thankfully worked. But also because of Cyber Monday, it was like really cheap. So it was like $75 for a year instead of like 200 plus or 300 even or whatever. So I did want to take some time to go through that to learn some new skills. Um, and there was a lot of things that I also just had to like look at when it comes to the government, because I've had different psychiatric things going on, you want to put it that way. And it turns out like what my psychiatrist told me, because good old America, you don't have health, you don't have a job, you don't have health insurance. So thankfully my insurance didn't expire till the 1st of December, like really November 30th. So when I had my monthly appointment with my psychiatrist, he was saying look into Medicaid since I don't have income. I was like, oh, okay. So
Mm.
but then he also mentioned Schedule A, which is like a disability. Like if you have disabilities, there's this like schedule for federal jobs, um, different U.S. government agencies, but also USA Jobs at the portal. Well, I made an account with USA Jobs end of December, literally like a few days before New Year's Day. So I was making an account with them and sort of trying to lean more into, well, if neurodivergence is counted as a disability, then great. Then I can might as well leverage that. Um, because there are certain jobs that are, or at least job roles that are like you still have to be qualified for the job, but they give you sort of like certain slots in these different non-competitive. I think they call them non-competitive. rules. And so Schedule A, or really anyone with disabilities, then they have other rules. But people who are former federal workers, people who were in Coast Guard or peace, active military, Peace Corps, all these different designations. So, I kind of was like looking more into like social service stuff, which just felt so like, I don't know, like it was just like, whoa, this is different. Like I talked to my local health department around Thanksgiving, had help from family who were there, to like kind of like try to look for different services. I wasn't able to get Medicaid, but I was able to get, because I still made too much money, but thankfully, like I got like a pretty good premium discount, from the Maryland marketplace for, health insurance. So I basically got a plan that literally, I haven't really taken that much advantage of it, sadly. Besides like a few meds I just picked up, but I've not been very consistent with that, which is a whole nother story. But it was basically like free. Like there were different plans, and I was gonna go with one that would have been like, I don't know, like somewhere between like 20 and 50 a month, which is like not bad at all. Basically what it is you have cost of the plans. Maryland gives like these premium payments as like a tax credit. So they pay it up front, and it doesn't seem like you have to pay it back, because you could either claim it or you could not claim it. And if you didn't claim it, you could file for taxes to get the credit the next year. So it seems like, okay, this shouldn't be something I should have to pay back. So literally like $0 premiums, which is pretty freaking amazing. But and like
Mhm.
there's a lot of coverage for health, mental health, like behavioral health, um, pretty much everything. Like I like took probably too much time, multiple days of just like looking at spreadsheet, building out a spreadsheet, looking at all the factors, my estimated use of like health services for all the different categories, urgent care, primary care, mental health, which would include psychiatry and therapy. I even like went the extra step of looking at like, there were different like more serious procedures, like things like X-rays or medical diagnostics. X-rays weren't that bad. The medical diagnostic like scans, blood work was fine, but then also like emergency room, hospital stays, inpatient, outpatient. Like there were a bunch of different like categories, and this plan seemed to like be the best, even with some of the more severe like an ambulance like pain. I had to literally do research on how much does it cost to ride in an ambulance in Maryland, um, which it depends on a county. I've seen something like 400 something dollars. I feel like hospital stays I've seen like 800 to $1,000. I don't know. It was actually kind of absurd just looking at all these numbers.
Mhm.
But I at least know that the coverage that I got would be like really good for all of these plans, looking at deductibles and all of this other stuff. So, taking the time to sort of just like get the benefits that I need and that I'm like, I'm entitled to. I mean, they are literally entitlements, right? So the
Mm,
things that I, in this case, was entitled for, I was like, let me. And this was really a push from my parents and I guess my psychiatrist for telling me to look at Schedule A and Medicaid, which then became a rabbit hole of let me look at like all social services that I'm possibly eligible for. And so that was cool. Um, and there's been yes. When you have a library card, oh yeah, yes.
true.
And no, I really haven't been like actively investing in anything. I kind of bought a lot of this one crypto, and I'm not really even plugging it because of any like personal benefit. It was really just a thing that like I a long time ago messed around with different crypto, kind of fell off. Decided to get more into it in 2022, right before things crashed, which was great timing. Um, and so I was like, I sold some of one Dogecoin. I mean, Dogecoin was like more of a joke, but I ended up investing way more than I should have, and so definitely sold at a pretty significant loss because I was like, I don't want to like wait for this to recover. I have other bills to pay. My car was totaled. This was like while I was in the middle of rental cars, so I was
Mm,
like, yeah, I have to sell. That was like August 2022. But I had this other coin called Solana that I was holding on to because I was refused to like take the same loss. So I kind of just was like nursing my wounds on that one without selling, but just the perceived loss. But then things started to recover in November of this past year, really even by October, and then it hit break even like first week November, then it hit like a massive profit. So instead of being down like 75%, so that I could like take care of certain things. And so I
Uh-oh.
Hmm. I guess he said too much.
Right?
They're on to him.
Which is funny because I actually get where Toby is coming from because I think what was it? Last episode that we were on, I was kind of talking about like how I was gonna invest in crypto. So glad you showed back up, Toby, because I'm going to say my little piece and I'm gonna swing it right back to you. So I would say I was gonna take $20 and start investing back in the crypto, and I actually did, and actually put in a lot more for Ethereum. I put a lot more towards that. I did a lot. I took some. I took some out of. What did I do? I took some out of Doge and actually kind of went towards a lot of the coins that had like higher APYs. And on top of that, all the ones that had higher APYs, I went ahead and staked them. And so that way I can't do nothing. I can just pretty much leave them there and let it make more money for me. And it's been working out since the last episode. It's actually been working out pretty well. It's been working out pretty well. There was a little dip that I was kind of a little bit concerned about, but like, I'm not going to worry about it too much. And then as soon as it hit that dip, it just went right back up. So I'm pretty much happy with that one. Very much happy with that. So, Toby, swinging it back to you. Pretty well.
Okay. Oh yes, I was just trying to make sure I was listening to the stream while I had been off. So let me make sure that's not echoing. Yes. So yeah, I mean, Ethereum is definitely a big one. You have to be kind of careful because it's like, I'm not a crypto expert, but I at least know some things. Like when it comes to needing to pay for transactions or send money or whatever, you have to you have gas just so that your thing can even get sent. And those fees, transaction fees, gas fees, are like horrifically high for Ethereum. But Ethereum has evolved. I want to say within the last. I just remember when I needed to send like yet last year I was taking. Last year I was taking inventory of all of my stuff. I had to basically like get my stuff out of Binance because the US stopped supporting Binance. It was yeah, I'll go back to that thing because I was saying something about 75% loss. Now that was partly because I kept doubling down and I kept buying as the price was dipping, thinking, oh yeah, I'm getting a deal and a discount. If I had just like bought a little bit, it wouldn't have been anything that serious. But I kept buying and kept buying. And I was putting like a lot at once. I should have like spread it out as it was falling instead of like, oh, it fell a bunch, let me buy a bunch, and then the next hour when it falls more, let me keep buying. Like it was bad timing on my part. I low-key was trying to follow the advice that one guy gave with like getting a PPP loan. I didn't do all that, but he was like, get a PPP loan somehow. He's like, get like 25,000, 20,000. He was like, invest like $1,000 in different coins. He was like, I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot.
Clearly not.
He was like, take $1,000, put it in different coins. Remember, this is for the long haul. This is not for any short term. So I was like, well,
that's the only correct thing he said.
that he's not financial advice.
It's for the long hauls, not for the short term. But maybe not do that.
So yeah, mistakes were made. I mean, I didn't get into Doge when thankfully I didn't buy at the ridiculous like 72-cent high. I was pretty good at like chilling 25, 20 cents, 30 cents, whatever. But then when those plummeted to like 5 cents, it was hard to get up from that. Solana went from like $100 around where I bought into like a low of 9, but it was mostly chilling around like in the 30s and 40s and 30s, then 20s. Then it like
Right.
lost everything and just went to like the 10s and then hit 9, like maybe winter of 2022. It started to get better, but I kept putting money into it because I was like, I'm going to keep putting money into it and average down. But eventually I was like, no, I actually have bills to pay. Like I have other things I need to be doing with my
Mm-hmm.
money. And I had just bought a car, thankfully, at this point. But I was like, I need to make sure everything else is straightened out. So I'm just gonna let this rock, and I'm gonna maybe look at this a year later. Then Robinhood decided to kick off delist, I should say, this coin. I bought on Robinhood, which is a trash platform, but it's free, and it was very easy to track. Average cost. Not so easy on a lot of other platforms where you really have to manually keep everything tracked. And so I was like, crap, it's gonna force sell my coins, or so I thankfully Reddit to the rescue, which I've been relying much heavily on Reddit the last few months. And even like maybe since like last year in the summer. So Reddit, the subreddit for this coin was like, oh yeah, don't sell, like don't get kicked off and sell. They said like you should make your own wallet and you can stake, which is just a way of helping to validate the network, and you get like pretty good returns, like usually 7 to 8% pretty easily.
Mhm.
APY, and so you get that like every few days. It just deposits like the rewards there. And so it was cool. I decided to do that in June. But I didn't set up the staking, so I still didn't set that up till like September because I was just so busy. And those returns have been pretty nice, but I've been again selling stuff as the price has gone up because your boy has things financially to take care of. Um, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's been an interesting journey. I still haven't really been buying anything new because one, my average is like in the 50 range. The price has been like between 80 and like $120. I don't want to increase my average cost now that I'm finally in the green. I'm just gonna let things go as they are, and then you have to deal with the tax liability because there's profit, blah blah blah. So another thing I've been investing in, I'm trying to get my taxes done early this year. I was hoping to do it to get a refund. Given these profits from these coins, I don't know actually if I might actually have tax liability for the first time in a while instead of an actual refund.
Okay.
Um which is fine because I mean it means you actually won. You got profit. But I do want to
Right.
make sure I don't want a situation where I have like many years of taxes that were not done and needs to be done. Because I got in that situation. I filed like 4 years of taxes last year. 0 out of 10 recommend. Well, 2022 is one of those years, but I filed it like in probably May, June, and it was due like April. So that wasn't that bad actually, and I was owed refund, so I didn't have to pay any fees anyway. Um, but like 2019, I definitely had a federal tax bill. Um, I would have had a state bill, but I was able to like get that waived because long story short, be careful if your company wants to pay for your relocation. It counts as income. So I was liable for all of the cost of what the relocation cost, including the hotels. The hotel was the most expensive, as well as like a broker who helped me find a new apartment in Massachusetts that first like month that I was there. So that was a lot. There was a lot like of the tax liability. Massachusetts would have also charged me, but they opted out of the Trump tax cut, which is what made it ineligible for like moving costs. Like you could usually waive out moving costs. You could deduct moving costs, and you could also exempt the money that companies give you as income. And both of those things were taken out by the 2018 tax job cut, whatever the heck TJCA was called. But Massachusetts exempted themselves along with some other states. So I was able to waive all that money that was not my money, it was my company's money. And why am I paying taxes on it? Thankfully Massachusetts was pretty cool. And even though I was outside of like the 3 year window, they still gave me a refund for 2019. I thought they were just gonna waive my bill, but they actually ended up giving a refund. And so making sure my taxes were done was like a huge important thing. And it's like I got to be such an expert in it almost that I feel like this upcoming year, well, not this upcoming year, this year, I had been planning for this for so long. I was like, as soon as it opened, I'm going to start filing. Um, I haven't made serious moves on filing, partly because I have to figure out all the crypto stuff, and I really don't want to pay for a service, but I might have to. Um, Go indexes. Yes. Definitely indices. AMD. If you invest in AMD, Costco is good. I haven't thought of Costco. I have Walmart,
Yeah.
but like I bought like one stock of a bunch of randoms. I didn't really invest a lot in a lot of stocks, but Nvidia and AMD both have done me pretty well. Even though I didn't
Nice.
invest a lot, I invested maybe four. I'm like, why didn't I invest 40? Like, what was I thinking? If I invested like 40 or 400 of these stocks instead, I only bought a measly four. Um, but no, let's just say that there's been a lot of things that I'm trying not to fall behind on, especially as um, well, I'll probably mention it later in the stream, but I have like a few weeks to get some stuff together. Um, and so I've definitely like made sure getting certain errands done, getting certain things together while I've been in between jobs was like a priority. And making sure I get started on certain things early. Um, yeah, and that's all I'll say for now. There's like other things I want to invest more in, but I will pass the mic and I'll get back to some of like the future investments for the rest of 2024. Excuse me.
Okay. No, that's what's up. I I don't know. I never buy like. Sometimes I buy a lot of like shares of like a stock, but like especially like in 2021 when it was just kind of like everybody was buying stuff. I did kind of like start buying a little bit more stuff because I've had Robinhood for so long and I just kind of forgot about it and I just didn't care. But I did buy like kind of like Toby. I didn't buy like many shares. Like I bought like 2 shares of Nvidia. But then it did a 4-1 stock split, so I got like 8 shares. So I was like, hey. So Nvidia is doing really, really well for me. But like, yeah, Costco is a good idea. I used to invest in AMD back in like 2017 or something like that. And it's like, I'm kind of like kicking myself because I wish I just like held on to it or just bought more. Like, why? But like, I didn't understand. Like, I'm just like now having a better understanding of it. But at the end of the day, it's still just, just it's like a slow, informed gamble.
Right.
Like it's it's a hell of a lot better than gambling, but you never know what can happen. Every time I think, like, I always think about this one scene from The Wolf of Wall Street, with like Leonardo DiCaprio and Margot Robbie. Um, he had like Leonardo DiCaprio was saying a line, something like, I think he was on the phone pitching, and he said something like, you know, like this penny stock could be like a blue chip stock like Kodak. And a blue chip stock is something that's like pretty much what FANG is now. Just something that's like it can't go down. And it was interesting that he used the like, they wrote it into the script Kodak, which is like clearly not a blue chip stock anymore. It's not just like a because like nobody uses Kodak anymore. Like it's gone. So like anything can be like that. Like on Twitter you see that Universal Music, I guess it's UMG, Universal Music Group, I think, is pulling its music out of TikTok. So that's gonna possibly hurt TikTok a whole lot. Yeah, but I do want to, I guess, go a slightly different route when it comes to like investing yourself because I still think this is still within the realm.
Mhm.
I, I may have mentioned it like once or twice on the stream, but like a couple of years ago, I was doing like this business class and like trying to get like this app idea I've had since like 2018 up and running. It's something that I just kind of like pick up and put down every so often. Like I've designed it multiple different times and stuff like that. But I've been talking to like one of my good friends who I consider like a mentor, and he's been like talking to a team in India about it. And and yeah, like I finally got a price for how much like my app will cost. And it's a good price. Like I know that because like if I were to do it like in the States, it would be a lot.
Mhm.
But to get it like up and running is it's a good price, but it's still like kind of a lot. It's like $20,000. But I'm like shit. That's a lot of money, you know. But it's like it's one of those things where it's like you realize that like if I just had like a lot of money, not even like a lot, just like a little bit more, then that would be um then that would be like oh I didn't change those names, my bad. Anyway, whatever. Like that wouldn't be like that crazy. And like I see how people just kind of get things created pretty easily because like they have the money to do so. But I'm now thinking kind of differently. Like I've been thinking differently for a while now, but like I'm thinking more so like how can I acquire this money and like how can I acquire it fast and how can I um what did Chad say? Sorry. And like hearing the word $20,000 made my heart like if you were to hire like an app developer, like they would probably charge you maybe like at the lowest end, you might be able to find like 5 or like 20 like $60 an hour. And then you're gonna sit there and just like kind of work with him for a long time, and it'll probably end up being 20K anyway. So, and that's like on the low end, whereas like this is like an actual team of people. But yeah, no, $20,000 is a lot of like it is a lot of money. Um, I don't think I'm gonna have to just fork it over all at the same time, but I'm gonna have to, you know, do something to get it created. Um, I mean, like I'm in the talks with him to see if we can like scale it back some and you know try to do other things. So maybe it may go down to like 10,000 or 14,000, which is still a lot, but it's like at that point where like even like 19,000 is a lot better than where it is now. It's like at that price point. Like if it was like 19,500, it's like that's no difference. But anyway, but you know, I'm trying to like think about ways of, you know, trying to acquire the money and like how to make how to pay it and make the payments and all that. And you know, like what's great is like my, you know, like my mentor is pretty much being like my consultant with the team. He's like you can tell he's very passionate about my project as well. It's weird because it's like he wasn't the first one. Like I've had another friend of mine who, you know, like he was helping me out like with a couple of things, like even just like for free because he was just very passionate about my app idea as well. So it's like it's insane. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is something I'm truly passionate about actually. it's it's one of those things that, you know, I keep picking up and putting down, like meaning like I can't seem to quit it. I can't seem to get it out of my head. There's been like a lot of things that I've just been kind of like, oh, you know, that's not really that big of a deal, but like this is definitely an idea that I've wanted for a while. Like you know how should I say this? I don't, like, it's like that. Like, it's one of those things where like I don't want to grow old and be upset that I never tried. You know, like there are certain things where like, like, yeah, I would like to get better at playing guitar, but I don't think that's really going to be one of the things I'm going to think about when I'm like in my 70s. Because like I can always just pick up the guitar in my 70s and just kind of play it. But like that's not something I'm like truly passionate about. But the reason why I'm passionate about it is because it's something that I wanted right when I graduated college, and I was really upset that it didn't exist. I could see signs of it through like other people, even like on guys I meet on like dating apps. Like this was like definitely something that was kind of, I feel like it's necessary. I feel like it's honestly more necessary now than it was before. But yeah, it's cool. If that goes badly, would your mentor have anything to lose as well? Probably not. I don't know. Because at the end of the day, like you're probably thinking like, oh, I would have lost a lot. Like I don't really see it that way, if that makes sense. Because like, regardless, because it's not necessarily about like the money for me. It's more so just like changing my mindset. Like if that makes sense. Like we usually, I don't know. Like I feel like that's kind of asking someone who like, well, I guess you're asking about like my mentor if he would have something to lose. Like I don't really think so, but at the same time it's not like I'm really relying on him to like make my app work at the end, like make my app be very successful is what I mean. Like that's pretty much up to me. Like it would pretty much have to be up to me to do everything else, like the marketing and the brand and everything else. It actually would be crazy hard to learn guitar at 70, but I get your point. Yeah, it would be. But it wouldn't be like impossible because I already kind of know how to play guitar. Like I'm not like I have guitars, like I know how to play a little, but I wouldn't. I don't know. Like if I never picked it up again for the rest of my life, I don't think I'd be like, like hurting. Like if I never drew anything for the rest of my life, because I've been thinking about maybe getting back into, well, not back into, because I was barely, I mean, when I was like 12, 13, I was sort of into drawing, as was everybody. But I don't think it'd be anything that I'd really, truly regret, But I feel like this is something that I would, like this app would be something that I would kind of regret not at least trying. Because like eventually I do want to like I love my job. I love the company that I work for, but I feel like, trying to like pursue like or try to create something like an app, a company or something like that would be like pretty awesome and just different and like just like a massive learning experience for me. And I'm just someone who just really loves to learn and tries to like, I want to say get to like my max potential, but just like a better version of me. And the only way to do that, as I said a million freaking times on this live stream, on this podcast, on this show, it's like you have to get out of your comfort zone. You got to do things scared. So it's like, it's one of those things where I'm like, you see the amount and it's like, I get why it costs that though. Like, I get why. But it's like, oh God. It would be really cool. Like, do I think I'm going to fail? Honestly, most likely. But I guess it depends on how you define fail. Like I don't think I
Mhm.
will come out with nothing. Like it's like whether you win, you lose, you still learn. If it gave you meaning, it would be worth it. If not, just acquiring a skill for its own sake is probably not worth the time investment. If it gave me meaning, I feel like it would. I guess so. I guess it would kind of. It's something that I'm just really passionate about. It's something I'm just very passionate about, and it's like I feel like I'd be doing it for the me when I just graduated college. Because like I'll I guess briefly go into it. Like it was hard for me to just like make friends after college, and like this app will just kind of help past me meet people that she would have probably liked to be around. It's a good problem to have.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I would say like that's I guess a way to invest in yourself. Like try to invest in a passion. Try to go
Mhm.
for a dream. So yeah, that's something.
No, I agree. I agree. And even then, just to kind of circle back just a little bit, like if you're not necessarily passionate about anything, then it's like, okay, there has to be at least something, you know. And
Mm.
even with that something, it may not be what you had thought it would be as far as passionate goes, because a lot of times, whatever you're passionate about doing, whatever your passion is, you don't mind doing it for free, you know. And a lot of times when you think about it in that kind of lens, like, okay, well, if I could like just let's say if I could just color all day,
Mm.
I'll do it for free because I just like to color. It relaxes my mind. It puts me at ease. It puts me in a better mental state. Um, if I could, I'll use me as an example. If I could be a math teacher because I just like math, I just like numbers, I just like being able to solve an equation and then just kind of take it apart, put it back together, and see the different kind of combination of answers I can get without necessarily having a huge meltdown. But it is fun to me because I like it.
Mhm.
And even then it's like, would you do it for free? Like, oh yeah, when it comes to like calculus, I would say I can't help you in that area because when I was in high school, I literally fell asleep in that class because either the teacher I had was super boring or what we were doing was super boring, but I would sit up and just fall asleep, wake up, try to at least remember how to do half of the problem without asking for help, and then my teacher getting mad at me like, well, you should have fell asleep in my class. Like, well, I was working until like 2 3 o'clock in the morning, my bad. But then again, you're
Mm.
just boring. But I need your class in order for me to pass. And yeah, I wanted to challenge myself,
Mm.
and calculus was not my cup of tea. And it's okay. Now, if someone asks me would I do it again now, probably would, just so I can say I passed the class. I know what I'm doing, and go from there. You know,
Mhm.
and and also just to kind of you know do something like this too as well. Like I like working on my car. You know, ever since I got it, I've gotten a new appreciation of tinkering around with certain stuff, and so if working on my car, if I could do that for free and not get paid for it, absolutely, absolutely. I know. I gotta go to a body shop and get a lot of the dents taken out of it. But
Mhm.
even then, once I get done doing that, um, I probably want to learn like how to do a lot of upgrades I can do for myself and put it to my car to make it run a lot better and make it run a lot smoother.
Uh,
And also just be like, hey, I did it. You know, I can do it. I can work on my car and not have it like blow up in front of my face and walk away and saying, yeah, I did it.
yeah. No, that's a good feeling to have too. Like, hey, like, at least you tried. Like you tried, you did it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a great feeling to have. Um, like when I was in college, I had an advertising professor, and he he was. I remember like it was like the last class, and he was telling us like how he got like a really good job at like Burger King, like headquarters,
Mm-hmm.
which at the time was down in Miami. I don't know if they're still there. They were there for a while though, and he was making like a ton of money, stuff like that. And but he just didn't really feel fulfilled, so he went back to his alma mater, which was the school I went to, Florida State, and he, you know, I guess got his PhD or whatever, and became a professor there, and like now he's like a lot happier, and because he said that like you never want to be like get old and look at yourself in the mirror and think like like what did I do with my life, like you don't want to just get old and have like those regrets. That sounds like someone tried.
Well, nah, I ain't even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna say. I'm not even gonna go there. I was gonna say something slick, but nah, I'm straight. Mm-mm, I'm straight.
Mm,
I'm
yeah.
straight. I don't need nobody assassinating me for real. For real. Nah, I'm good.
Trying to get wrong.
Not they try to get me. That's wild. That's wild. Now, if you were talking about some deer, yeah, deer's probably try to get me. I can see that happening. Hmm. I can see deer's trying to get at me. I like venison. They probably don't like me, but I like venison. So
Mm.
it is what it is.
Mish,
Yeesh.
I was just thinking
Hey,
about
friend.
you. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Niche definitely crossed my mind at the beginning. Like when I first came on, it was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Toby manifested you, Mish.
time for
Yes.
Mish to come on. So, um, a few little conjunctions or interject, whatever you call those words. But yeah, TMC. Probably shouldn't have tightened that. I'm dead.
Let's see. Do we have move? Actually, in the UP, there are moose in the UP, and a lot of times, well, actually, not even just in the UP, like in the northern part of Michigan, like Traverse City area, there's a lot of like moose slash elk signs that's posted up. I think the one time me and the missus went up to Traverse City just to kind of get away from the kids and whatnot. It was also our anniversary weekend. We actually saw a moose just cross the road. We're like,
Hmm.
is that really a moose that just crossed the road? Like, yeah, like, okay. Like, okay, thing is huge, but yep, go for it. You have the right of way, sir. By all means, you will tear up my little car. Go for it. I'll let you go. You take your time. I'm good. I got all the time in the world. I'm straight. But yeah, mainly in the UP, they're normally found, and also like I was saying before too as well. Also, like in the northern part of the Lower Peninsula of Michigan. Yeah.
Okay. Moose go hard in the paint.
Quite literally. Quite literally.
So I'm terrified of moose.
I don't think I've really ever seen moose because I think of deer, of course. Like I always see deer, whatever. Not usually usually it's just when driving, but like moose, actually I wasn't even fathoming like that I probably haven't seen a moose in person. Sounds like some Canadian wilderness type stuff. Like from reading like the Hatchet and like the Winter or Brian's Winter, the river, all those things. Um, so I think of a moose that's just like out for blood, and you're in the wilderness, and it's you versus a moose, and it's not going well.
Exactly.
It's not going to go well.
No, that's what I'm afraid of.
I'm dead.
Like they are huge. I've never seen one, but just from like the videos I've seen, I'm like, yeah, like they just seem really scary.
Oh, I remember. Actually, no, because there was another time I saw one. We were living in Colorado Springs, and we're driving, and like, you know how sometimes, like in college towns, they have like the crosswalks for like the college students to kind of cross, and the lights go on, let you know, like hey, slow down or stop. College kids are crossing. Quite literally, they had one for a moose, and it was literally called a moose walk, and all the cars stopped. We're like, "What's going on?" And moose, broad daylight, just walked around, just walked in the middle of the road, kind of looked and went the other way. We're kind of like, "Huh?" And the kids like, "What is that?" Like, you guys, we just saw our first moose, and they were like, "No way!" I'm like, "Yeah." By that time, we had a smaller car than the car that I have now, way smaller car. So we're like, yeah, we're gonna sit here and we're going to let it do its thing. We're not gonna honk. We're not gonna do nothing because we know the moose that large could tear up somebody's car in a heartbeat, and we're not gonna be one of those. Nope, not today.
Not today.
Oh yeah, that was another. Yeah, not today. Nope. You can tear somebody. You can tear up somebody else's car, not ours.
Not I.
I can probably see that happening, Rocky. I could possibly see that happening. A moose and the bear fight. Sheesh.
Jeez. Yeah, that's terrifying. The bears can be cute, apparently, and they apparently don't like to harm humans. I don't know. I mean, these bears show up on random people's porches in places like Washington, Oregon, of course, Canada, a lot of states that border Canada. Like, I don't know. I just hear about moose showing up on people's property. I'm like, that doesn't seem good. I don't know how cute. Maybe from afar, y'all are cute, but that's a lot going on. Oh no, terrible. Rocky's last comment there. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Crazed picture of a moose. Yeah. Now the app thing. I mean, even just thinking of like investments and like uh, I'm glad you brought up that example. And like I feel like it's like nice to kind of see non-traditional things. Like what are people investing in? Um, like
Mm.
even some things like if I had seriously wanted to do content creation, which right now is definitely like on hiatus. Would I even call it hiatus? I kind of like did what I needed to do to clear off drafts off of my TikTok off of one of my phones so I could like prepare it to like return and sell. But I wasn't like really getting seriously into it. But I've thought like there could be material and things to look into. Not even just paid things, but like really like learning like what do content creators use to like post up what type of the day, like even getting a web domain. I've considered it. I'm still considering. Um, if there's like a sale. I mean, unfortunately, we just passed the holidays and Black Friday, but if there's like a sale for like getting a web domain and that made sense, besides of course like something like free like a link tree or all my links or all those things. But if you want better, you know, whether metrics or analytics, you have to pay. Now, if you have your own web domain, I'm not sure if some of those come with, I guess depends on what you use to buy the domain. Maybe they have their own analytics and metrics, but I think yeah, when it comes to certain technology, that's actually something that was similar. I didn't go into, but I had paid. Um, well, I guess this is less of an investment, maybe self care. But for Cyber Monday, I bought Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I bought like a bunch of subscriptions. Like I never had because I didn't really care to have subscriptions. Netflix was my brother. I've been on his account since like 2017. Um, and yeah, it was 2017, and even then I haven't really used it that much outside of like certain shows, like
Mm.
the Marvel shows while they were still there, and a few others. But I recently went ahead and well, my brother actually don't know if he's the one who told me or if I saw this from like login. And thank God I like caught this because the account would have just been gone like dunzo and all like my account history and all that stuff, which was tied to his profile. So I had to like transfer my profile out, which meant I had to then create my own Netflix. And like, oh God, now I have to start paying for Netflix. And since I don't use Netflix that regularly, I'm like, let me just use the ad based tier. It's still annoying. It's like $7 something. That's not a lot of money, but there's ads. Like Netflix does not have ads, and so if I wanted the base tier, I think it would have been like 12. I'm like, I'm not paying 12 a month for a service I barely use. But what I
Mm.
did do was I found Disney Plus. They had like no Hulu was like 99 cents for a year, and they
Okay.
bundled with. I didn't realize that Disney owned Hulu until like yesterday when my brother was telling me. But I know that like I could log in to Hulu with Disney Plus and vice versa. I just thought that they partnered together. I didn't realize that Disney owned Hulu. Yikes! Don't know when that happened. Probably been for a while now. So I got a Disney Plus. So I got a Hulu 99 cent subscription for a year. With Disney Plus bundled, it was only like $2.99, so $3.18 a month with taxes. Which I'm like, that's a steal. I think HBO Max was like 6 months, so that one expires I think in May. But that one's like $1.99 a month. Um, and I haven't watched Game of Thrones or really most HBO things, but I was like, this is a good time to like try to catch up on certain shows. I have Amazon Prime. That's I've considered like certain things that I should stop paying for. One of them was Spotify, which I probably stopped paying for about a year or maybe more now. Um, when I was really rebalancing my budget and stuff. Amazon Prime is one that I can't get rid of. I don't know. I just feel like there's so much invested. Like I can't really get rid of it at this point. And I want to take advantage of the Prime videos. This is I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't watch a lot of movies um anymore. So I feel like I have to really force myself to use it, but I did recently start trying to rewatch the MCU just because I wanted to watch the TV shows, the Disney Plus shows like WandaVision, Captain Falcon. I always say that. Captain America, Winter. You already know what I'm saying. Winter Soldier and like Black Guy. Okay, Anthony Mackie. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There we go. I will say Captain Falcon every time, as if this is Smash Brothers. Okay. So I want to watch like all those shows. So like since last weekend, not this weekend, but the past one when we got a lot of snow here in DC, I watched, I think, Iron Man. It was fun rewatching it, just intentionally knowing everything that I know about the universe versus when I first watched it and I was like in middle or high school. So then I watched like the Hulk, which I had only seen parts of, and so that was interesting to watch the Incredible Hulk. Falcon, we already know the vibes.
Yes.
Punch. So it was just cool. Like I was like, I'm gonna get the most out of this. If I have like a year or 6 months of very cheap subscriptions, yeah, they add up, but like a steal, like 99 cents. Hulu always has like good deals, but they're usually just for like a month that you get a free trial. So the fact that it's like 99 cents and then Disney Plus is there. Peacock I used to have for free through
Comcast.
Xfinity.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But when I moved here, I had to give up my router, and then my brother has FiOS, so I'm like, oh crap! Now I don't have this anymore. So Peacock also had like a $1.99 a month deal, so I'm like, that I might as well get that. Maybe I'll finally get back to watching The Office, or I can watch other shows. Oh, hold on, that's probably important. There's only one black guy. Second, family.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta see about the 99-cent Hulu thing. I mean, I guess it's for like new customers.
Mhm.
Like new. That's the thing. Like they always get like the new. I mean, I get it. Like I get why, but at the same time, like I don't. I understand like the
Right.
whole new subscription thing. Like I get it, but it sucks. It
Yeah.
sucks because I know that Hulu, because I have Hulu with the ads. I've had it for years. You know, like my mom uses my account, and so does like my sister. So, but like to kind of trade, like I have my sister's Disney Plus, but I know that Hulu has like you could do like a year subscription for like $80 a year, rather than like $9 a month. So I was like, maybe I should like do that. And I was thinking about doing the same thing with HBO Max or Max, whatever the hell it's called now. And just pay for like the yearly subscription. Cause like I use HBO a lot. Not like a whole lot, but I use it enough to like if I don't have it, I will miss it, sort of thing. I have Amazon Prime because it's like a utility at this point.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, Netflix. I actually have that bundled in with my T-Mobile.
Nice.
Yeah. So like I pay like I don't know, like $7-8 a month more. And I have my mom's account. Well, yeah, I'm under my mom's account, but I pay for the bill because like we're able to get like a cheaper bill because she's over 55 years old. So
Mhm.
I was like, okay, that's what's up. So I'm doing that, and I think that's all I subscribe to. I'm on my friend's YouTube.
Mhm.
So I don't know, like he pays for it, but honestly, like YouTube Premium, like I've gotten hooked on the no ads thing because like YouTube Premium also you get YouTube Music as well, and I don't think I've used YouTube Music enough because like I freaking hate like I don't know, I keep hearing like the same songs, but I pretty much only use it for when I'm working out. So I just always go to like workout section, look for like some sort of playlist and play the songs. It's always like the same songs. My boyfriend asked me if I pick the same playlist. I don't think so. I think I picked different playlists. It's just they all have the same songs on it. But I guess I gotta take a better gander. They're probably like YouTube probably just thinks I really like these songs because I haven't thumbs up or thumbs down it, but I just play it. So they're probably thinking I must love it since I haven't said anything. That's because I'm, working out.
Right.
Yeah, but listening to podcasts on YouTube or just like watching videos while I work has just been so nice. It's just been so nice, and just not having to worry about ads. Because there was a time when my friend, like, I guess there was something going on and he couldn't pay the bill, so I was gonna I played it and there was ads, and it was horrific. It was such a horrific experience. I do not.
Spotify fan.
Mm, I guess when my friend let you share everything. I get that. Like Spotify is bad too. I don't really listen to
Which one were you just talking about, Al? Sorry, I think I mixed which service you're saying had the horrific ads.
YouTube. Spotify does.
YouTube.
Yeah,
Okay.
you
Okay.
Spotify does too. I I only go on Spotify to listen to podcasts because podcasts don't have ads. Like they have the ad within the podcast. You know, when like the person who is presenting the podcast wants to tell you about Quip or ExpressVPN or whatever everybody has. But if you're just listening to music on Spotify, the ads are so bad. It's so bad. You would, first of all, it lies to you. It would say, listen to this ad. And after you listen to this ad, enjoy 30 minutes of ad-free music.
The music.
And it's not 30 minutes. It's like there's been times when it'll be like 4 songs. I was like, that's not 30 minutes. That's not 30 minutes at all.
Maybe you were listening to what's that song called? Bohemian Rhapsody. Maybe you also listen to the Stairways. Runaway by Kanye. Just insert a bunch of songs that are like 5 minutes long. I mean, that still doesn't get the math to math.
No,
exactly.
it doesn't.
But you need like a 7 minutes at least. No, same thing happens. I can relate a lot to the I have attempted to not pay for YouTube, but then whenever I did, when I came back in, it was more expensive. So I said, screw it, I'm just gonna stay. But I did get a student discount. Was this student discount? I found a way, I have to be careful now before the internet overlords find this. But if you use Share ID, and Share ID is one verificator for student IDs, and then the other one is Unidays. Well, so some things will use Share ID. I don't know if there's an actual account. Unidays is an actual account you can create for certain discounts, but I looked up like what uses Share ID. Apparently, Apple used to do that for like getting Apple Education. They stopped like in 2022 or 3, which is really fortunate because I would have loved to have taken advantage of the student stuff. But long story short, I just switched my YouTube Premium subscription to a student account, and I think it should be good through like November of this year. But
Okay.
I'm actually pausing my YouTube. I think the pause. So what happened was I was supposed to have paused it by January 5th, but I switched over to the YouTube Premium for the student account. I switched over to the student account, which then took away the pause I was supposed to have. So then I ended up getting charged, which is still good. I mean, normally you get charged like almost $15. It's like Amazon Prime prices. It's pretty bad. Like it's like $14 or $13. This time I got charged like $6 or $7. So I was like, okay, that's good. But then I paused it. So now my pause will kick in February 5th. And I actually because I have a lot of email addresses just from time. And there's one that I never had a YouTube account. So I had gotten Discord. So this all wraps up together. I had gotten Discord Premium, Nitro, as they call it, because they had like a 2-week free trial, which unfortunately I could not cancel through the app. And I did not find time to go onto the website and cancel, which is really dumb. Like, shame on you, Discord, for not letting you manage your Nitro within the app, making it harder. You have to go to the friggin' web. I don't even think you can do it through the desktop app. You literally have to go to the website, discord.com. I was like, what's wrong with you people? So in any case, I got charged because I did not cancel it. However, one of the perks was that you can get 3 months of free YouTube, which actually more than pays for itself. So I I basically use one of my other accounts that I've not set up YouTube to use that bonus. Then I canceled my Nitro, and so I paused my main YouTube account for basically 3 months while I get the free 3 months from Nitro for the other account. It's a little annoying though because my main account obviously has all my preferences and my whatevers.
Right.
So
Yeah.
even sometimes when I switch between accounts for different reasons, like there are times where I've like looked for certain things that I saved on like an older YouTube account, and then I accidentally stay signed in while I look up new like music or songs, maybe from like Google's like song recognition, and I'm like, oh crap! Then I see ads, and I'm like, oh my gosh, not ads. That means I'm still on this other account. So yeah, YouTube ads. I don't see them that often because I don't usually use YouTube without it. But Spotify, I always hear ads. Like my alarms, what I will say I like about Spotify free is that it automatically does radios. So if you want to play a song, it's very annoying not to get to play that song right away. But my alarms used to just be one song. So I would have like an alarm for 8:35 a.m., 8:55 a.m., 7:25, all these different times. And it would just play the same song over and over again. So it would also screw up my Spotify Wrapped, which I didn't even look at this year. I kind of stopped because it's just like the songs are so inaccurate. They're just my alarms. But now what happens is that it does a radio for each of these songs, which is pretty cool. So now I'm like hearing a bunch of songs that I haven't heard or that I usually would hear in other context, but now they're part of this radio. Now, if I can somehow make my Google, because I think this is Google Clock that does this. Samsung has a clock app, Google has a clock app. I think it's Google's clock app that I'm using Spotify as my alarm. And I don't know if it's sophisticated enough to then make it so that you can choose to make it a radio within the clock app. I don't think that's a thing. If it is, then I would actually happily pay for it because Spotify gave me like a discount. I didn't take it, but it was like $10 for 3 months. And I'm like, yeah, I would happily do that. But I actually enjoy the radio, like the radio feature in the morning. I hear a lot of different songs, and they're very different genres. Some of them are like more rap, some of them are more R&B. No, not even really. It's mostly like alternate maybe rap. Like there's some Tyler the Creator song and Kali Uchis and some others. Anyway, the point is that like Spotify is one where I'm considering like reinvesting. If there's any kind of deal, I don't want to pay for it like every month. Like if I can get a 3-month thing like that again, I might have to do that. But I need that radio because I refuse to hear the same song looping over and over again in the morning. Now that I've been spoiled with the radio, and like, look at that being poor, not poor. Let me not say that, but like, let me try not to be broke. Actually, caused me to to like get to hear different songs that I would not have if I was just playing the same one. So thank you, budgeting. But yeah, Amazon Prime and YouTube Premium, unfortunately, I don't think I can ever shave them off. It is what it is. But at least I cut my premium price with student IDs. Amazon's pretty strict. I don't think they'll let you because I had a student discount when I was actually in school. So apparently they don't really let you like reactivate if you've ever had that, but whatever. Invest in subscriptions smartly, kids. If you're actually getting good out of them.
That's true.
I just saw this. The last thing I'll say, and it's really quick, I've been learning French through Duolingo, so that's something I haven't paid for it. I've been using like free trials for the Super and Max, which are like the two different tiers, both of which I guess use certain AI quote unquote features. But honestly, I don't really care that much about the AI. I just want to like have normal features with that don't spam me with ads. Because you get spammed with ads every single time you finish a lesson to basically buy Super or Max. The ads that you get otherwise, like there's certain ads that will just play where you have like some product. Those aren't usually too bad. They're dumb though because you can't hear the ad. So for whatever reason, there's no sound even if you click the speaker button. So I'm like, y'all don't really want me to hear this ad, okay? But Duolingo's cool. I've been using it since like I had an account in 2017, but I've been using it since like maybe November, December. Streaming was supposed to be cheap, but yeah. So don't even get me started on that. I will send a text I actually got from Move On about how Netflix has been raising its prices and how while producers, streamers, and other people get what's the word? Um, hey, well, these people get
Yo,
exploited. They're increasing prices. So this might be a good topic for the future in terms of like, yes, I actually heard this, Chad. I heard that the library actually has another feature. Like there's certain like so streaming is there. There's like certain like free movie. I think Hoopla. I've never used it, but apparently it's very popular. But Hoopla has like free. Possibly
Yeah,
they have ebooks, but they also really have a lot of like movies and TV shows. So Hoopla is one. There's like some others. Different libraries vary. But
yeah,
language learning would be cool if they actually have Duolingo through that. Oh my god, Chad! I didn't even think to like look, but I think they have Rosetta Stone, which is like old
yeah.
school,
Mine
right?
has Rosetta Stone. Like I gotta like read. I think I re-downloaded it on my new phone, and I haven't really used it in a long time. But I was trying to learn Spanish. It just sucks when you have to like start from the beginning of what you already know.
They don't have like an opt out because Duolingo lets you skip certain levels and you can take a test. I've not because I don't know French, so I just have been doing it from the beginning. But I'm surprised that they don't have any type of like, what do you
Mm,
know? Because
right, yeah.
that's a turn off. Like I was gonna just sign up with them, but if they make me go from square one, IDK.
Maybe try like another language, but it also doesn't hurt because it's like also like a nice refresher because
Yeah, yeah.
like it's like yeah, it doesn't hurt.
And I'm new to this. It's not like I've known. It's not like Spanish. Spanish I took like 3-4 years. I even took a college semester, so that would be actually absurd. Okay, I won't say it's absurd. There are definitely some basic things that might be nice to relearn because there are some things where I try to like conjugate or do something in my head in Spanish. I'm like, oh crap. Or like when I've been learning French, I try to think, how do I say this in Spanish? I'm like, I forgot how to say this. So it may not actually hurt, but it would be nice to at least have an expedited review and then bump up to the level. But whatever, like that's something that I want to invest more in. I would love. I haven't given myself a hard timeline because the job search is like been ramping up a lot with interviews and stuff. So I wanted to take advantage of the time I had to like learn more French, but I don't know how sustainable it will be throughout the time. And it's borderline not impossible, but it is not very fun to learn on Duolingo if you have the free version. Let me read 3,000.
I know,
Well,
like there was
oh,
so much
that's
shit in that interview. I was like, there's no way at his age when he was saying between like because I think he moved out at like 13. Um,
hmm
yeah, like 13, 14, I think. But apparently he was reading like 3,000 books a year. I'm like, dude, that's 10 books a day on average.
I
Like,
didn't watch the whole. I think I saw like a 30-minute clip or so of probably one of the most viral ones, which was him talking specifically about Kevin Hart and some other things in the industry. I didn't watch the whole interview. I actually do need to go and watch the whole thing, but I saw like I was proud. I was like, hey, 30 minutes on just one YouTube video. Let's do that. Coming. I actually had to watch telenovelas, not Netflix though. This is like 2011, 12. Netflix existed, but like I was watching like live TV that I could find telenovelas for my AP Spanish class because we had to do like these like journal type things where it's like, what did you watch? Like what type of it could be news. News was fine, so I actually enjoyed watching soccer games if I could find them in Spanish. Um, but telenovelas were like probably more proper because there's an actual plot to follow. But yeah, that might be kind of cool. Like even French, Duolingo has a podcast, and I haven't listened to it yet, but like I think trying to look at some French media that's like easy for people who are learning French, that would be pretty ideal. So thank you, Rocky, for that. I yield my time.
hmm
There was a hearing earlier of impeachment because DC is not a functional place, and I was watching a little bit of the Hill's live coverage of the impeachment over the Homeland Secretary, because of the whole border wall thing, and I kept hearing and yield my time, and I was like, this is kind of fun. I want to like learn the proper parliamentarian procedures and Robert's Rules of Order and all that stuff, like point of order, point of blah blah. So anyway, I yield back to the chairwoman or chairman. I yield to someone.
All right. That's probably goes on. Yeah. Oh, y'all, it is about that time.
Mhm.
Yeah. Gotta start wrapping up. Yeah, it's almost 11 o'clock on the East Coast.
Yes.
I do want to apologize for starting late. However, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for coming on. It's
Yes.
always amazing and a pleasure hanging out with you all. Y'all in the chat, y'all are amazing. You all who are watching, who came on for a couple of seconds and then left, we love you just as much, maybe just a little bit more. It's a little bit, like, you won't even notice. You won't even notice, chat, don't worry. Next month we have a new topic. So yeah, next month is February. Jeez, sorry. Like I don't know about y'all, but I felt like this month was just so long. It just felt so long to me. It always does. January's always feel really long to me, and this one, yeah.
That's what people say. Like, I get it, but I don't know. Like, it's always like I look at the beginning of the month and the end, and yes, there's a lot that happens in between. But the month, in some ways, like, while it does feel like it's been an eternity, I'm like, wow, it's actually almost over. Like, I don't know. January's can be hit or miss, but this month has been great. Go into that later. It's been probably the best January that I can ever remember in a long time.
Nice.
And so, yeah, no, 2024 is going to be an awesome year. So we're going to keep that energy. But I do get it. The month is long. There's also a lot of things with the weather and just it's cold and all that. But y'all take care. Have a better February than the January. Hopefully January was good. And it will be Valentine's Day, actually, close to it. This year, I think last year, Valentine's Day was the stream day. Probably not ideal. But, I mean, that's not our choice, of course. But, like,
right, yeah.
For those of us who want to do things on Valentine's Day, thankfully, it's the 13th. So we'll see y'all then. Let us know what's happening with your Valentine's Day plans. If you have any, treat yourself. If not, yes, Mish. Whatever you said. Thanks for the shout out. Oh yeah, of course.
Shouty outy.
Love it. Appreciate y'all.
The Christmas spirit. New Year's felt like it was
Yeah, New Year's did feel ish like it was recent. I don't know. Christmas is. I think there's no decorations and nothing in my apartment. Like that's my parents' house. Do they still have the tree? Probably. But so the Christmas spirit has left me. But 'tis the season to love people and appreciate what you have. So
yes,
yeah,
keep doing that.
Definitely. Well, y'all. With that said, we love y'all. Y'all have a great night. And we'll see y'all in February with a brand new topic and a brand new sense of style.
A brand new sense of style.
Yeah.
Sure.
Why not? Yeah.
Why not?
Exactly.
I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Invest in style. Invest in yourself.
Very
and how
true.
You look.
yes.
Yeah.
Didn't have
absolutely.
that one as much, but yes.
Alrighty, y'all. Good night, and we'll see you on the next one.
Absolutely.
Peace.
Love you all. Peace.
Love you guys.
Love y'all too.